Hey guys, it's Lindsay from Wannabe KY Homesteaders, and today I am going to tell you and also show you how we get ready and prepare for our baby chicks. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take our brooder box, which this is a super cheap one that we got from Lowe's. It was under $10, and we are just going to scrub that out really well, make sure there's no dust or debris in it. And I always say you can never underestimate the power of a clean environment, especially when you are starting baby chicks. So by having everything cleaned up really well, it just ensures a really good start. And then I'm also going to clean out their food dish, their water, and I like to set their water dish up on a brick after they get a little bit older, just to help keep it clean. So I'm also going to scrub that out really well, and I'll just keep that outside until it's time to start using that. So this year we are getting our chicks mailed to us, which we haven't done before. I was so nervous, I was so anxious. I know they do it all the time, but I just love being able to drive to the hatchery. It's a pretty drive in Amish country, and just being able to pick up the chicks, come straight home. Then there's no delays, and I know that's also helping give them a really great start. But I have no complaints with the mailing. I just personally am an anxious person, and I'd much rather just drive up there. Now for the first couple days, we are going to use pee pads just to keep an eye on the chicks, and then I'm going to set their food and their water towards the opposite end of the brooder so it's not under the heat. Then that way the water doesn't get too warm, and I always want to make sure that the chicks have a place to get away from the heat lamp. If they're too hot, they'll be away from it. If they're too cold, they'll be huddled underneath it. So one thing that I make sure that I always do every day is ensure that they have fresh water, and I always make sure that they have fresh food. So after they've been traveling, they don't necessarily need food right away since they absorb the yolk that's in the egg. So typically they're more thirsty than they are hungry. So we will gently dip those beaks into a little bit of water so they know where they're at. So I will give them time to just decompress, rest, because it is a long journey, especially when they've been mailed or traveling. So now it is time to clean out this brooder a little bit. We're going to switch over to hemp bedding, which I probably will skip the pee pad step this next time and just use the hemp bedding since it absorbs a lot more and there's no odor or smell, and there definitely was a little bit with the pee pads. Before I put down that hemp bedding, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down everything with a Clorox wipe along the sides. So I am speeding up part of that video so it looks like I'm going really fast. It does kind of frighten the chicks, so I make sure that I'm going really slow just so they don't have too much of a meltdown. For their food, I start with a 50-pound bag of medicated feed, and then after that I will just use a regular bag of chick starter, and then I'll switch to a grower. And for their water, I will use a couple packs of the electrolyte and probiotic. I'll do electrolyte one day, probiotic one day, and then just regular water. So since I got some of the specialty breeds from Meyer Hatchery, I had leg bands on a few of the chicks, so I just used some nail cutters and cut them off after about 5 days, just to ensure that doesn't get too tight. Now make sure to check out my description for the items that I use for all of our chicks starting. So when in doubt, it doesn't need to be complicated, it doesn't need to be hard. Simple and a clean environment is really what you need.